go a Pharah Mercy with a back composition, perhaps. That's why Flower comes in, although Libero, no slouch on the Pharah. So interesting tactics here. San Francisco, this is likely just to try to close or try to clear out any cheese that they see, but they might just end up popping Architect on the cart.
Yeah, once you force him back to the barriers, I mean, it's not really great for Flower either. He's up there, but if you show yourself for an instant, we've seen this. Pharah's versus, whoa, nicely done! Flower perfectly timed! Choi getting caught there, that was not pretty. Oh, do they get the follow-up? Lantern's down though, so they will not be able to get that follow-up kill.
Yeah, Immortality Field, that glowing drone above is what is going to keep people at a certain HP. I mean, it's exactly what the name implies, Immortality Field. Lantern, drone, whatever you want to call it.
Could we please, I like Lantern, but could we please just get an accretion to connect, like a rock to connect with the Pharah? That would just be...
We've seen it, and it's not just the accretion that happens.
Yeah, but not on easy mode. I don't mean with halt.
Okay.
I mean just lobbing it up there.
Just Kobe!
Please.
Well, so far, San Francisco has not gotten any progress. The payload is starting to go reverse on the bridge. Not exactly the place you want to be against a Pharah.
Oh, this is so frustrating. It works both ways. You got a Bastion, I've got a Bastion. You had shields, so did we. I mean, this is a nice attempt here from the Maywall to try and make it life difficult here for SBB. Can't quite hold that angle, but now Flower can come over the top. Flower gets sniped! Rascal! That was the kill, and Animo gone as well. 6v4 now for the San Francisco Shock. What can the New York Excel do here?
Die.
Run? I mean, try to survive?
I mean, they're going to reset on this high ground right now, and Flower should be back into the mix. You've got this amp matrix out here, and it is a terrifying sound to hear that Bastion through the matrix. Eventually, enough kills go in. I wonder if they can res this, though.
I don't think so. He's out in the open. He died in a terrible place there, SVB. So this is still now going to be Architect. He's going to have the angle. It's going to be so hard for them to set shields up for the New York Excel to hold this, especially if he's getting the support like this from the rest of his team. What do you do? How do you contest this? Okay, yeah, you hang around in the doorways, but that's where you're going to stay.
I mean, he is getting a little bit of pressure here, but people forget that just Sentry mode is actually pretty good.
Boom, this is the play. Because now what do? You got nowhere to hide with the shields. This is going to be real interesting here. How do they crack it? Well, there we go. That's an attempt. Flower with the barrage gets one. Violet's gone. Lantern not quite fast enough there, but Smurf is on cleanup. Flower and SBB dying to the Orisa.
Smurf, a guy who didn't play really all year until we get to this stage, and he has put on a very good performance on the Orisa for this squad. They will get that first checkpoint, add some time to their clock, and maybe we'll get a replay of that one.
I want to see this.
Joe Yoven. I just love that icon. It just makes me happy to know someone got belted with a rock.
So, oh, awkward. What's that about? And we're going to get a moment, here just to savor this match, because New York XL are not willing to take a fight early. They're going to let the San Francisco Shock ride that payload into their fortified position. Banker, bunker bust attempts though coming through. Big rocket from Architect! That's what you're looking for with that flux. You just happen to be in the sky with nowhere to hide, and he's just pummeling them now. New York XL have to give ground.
I mean, it's just this Flower and Animo combination in the back has not gotten any value at all. They're just flying around, and essentially you're just having 6v4s on the payload. It's really just been all San Francisco. They're getting some damage, but it's not enough. They just get that kill on the Flower. Animo can't res this.
Yeah, exactly. You want to res this? I don't think so. Gatling gun to the face. And well, now, I mean, it's 14 final blows to 6. San Francisco right now are dominating. Oh, the halt in the open as well. Meko caught on the wrong side of that wall. That's not where he wants to be. Window pane goes in, though. So there is quite a bit of damage. Just getting cranked out now by SBB. Great charge coming in from Choyoven. Maximum shields for him. And this is where they turn it. SBB nearly goes down. And Mono caught in the open. Can't get around the corner in time. Architects is doing so much work right now for San Francisco Shock. The payload is hardly stopped.
Rascal is doing great with these walls, too. You want to try to put down an IF, then I will just knock you up into the sky and will shoot you anyway. Everybody from San Francisco is working well in concert. And yet again, this has just been silence from Flower and Animo.
This is going to be heartbreaking for Flower. You're under the most pressure you can be as a pro player. Your team's on the ropes, and you need to get it going here on the third map. And it's, what is this? Well, nobody contested for New York. Looking a little confused there on their side, what was going on, but they just stuck it right on through San Francisco. 321 in the bank for them and 3 points on Rialto.
unforced errors. It's happened to New York all year, and what a way to... This is not even fight. That's embarrassing. It is not even going to put up a fight. Look, they literally didn't on the last point.
We're going to get it. All right, let's see what is there anything clever going on here. Could have had the May wall blocking them off. So if they wanted to get through, that would have been tough for New York.
Hits him with the rock, and then the wall does come down.
Yep. Oh, and Meko's just a split second too late. So sick, though. San Francisco, they're just ready for it. They know what the game plan is each point so far. They're playing it so clean.
You really can't be surprised by that, though. If you're, they've been running a May all game. Literally all game. You know wall-off potential's there. You have to split half of your team on one door and half on the other so that that doesn't happen to you. They was boomed.
But this is SBB, leadership at its finest. Flower trying his best, you know, to keep it focused. So much pressure on this guy since his World Cup appearance. He dominated there, took the world by storm. Hasn't had too much playtime here in the Overwatch League, despite New York Excel putting him in on mass, getting him experience, building up that confidence. But again, you're just throwing him into the deep end here if you're the New York coaches. You got Libero. Libero's played in these situations. You have Flower. You're just putting him into map 4 where your team's back is to the wall completely. You know, SBB, props to him as a leader.
Yeah, he's literally pumping Flower up right now. He's just holding his hand, rocking back and forth. You got this. They're sitting next to each other on the stage. Can the veteran leadership help the upstart Flower?
Woohoo! Nice body block there from Mono. But yeah, credit to SBB as a captain, as a leader. Doing everything he can here. This is everything on the line now for New York Excel. Match point for the San Francisco Shock and a spot in the grand finals in Philadelphia versus the Vancouver Titans. What a match that would be. So, taken to the skies. Rascal, perfectly capable. Farah as well in his own right. Gonna put some pressure on Flower. And we've still got the Bastions in play here for both teams as well.
That was an ambitious drop down.
Window pane getting thrown in. That just melts so much damage. But then Violet takes the kill out on Sabiobi. Do we have a res possible here? It's gonna be tough. Animo was thinking about it for a second, and he's looking like he's going to try in here and sneak it. He's going for it. Does this cost him his life? No, he barely gets out intact. Unreal. And now you've got Violet who's committed the window pane to this fight.
Oh, that's brutal too. Staggered out. Still fight left in the NYXL here. Defense looking strong.
Yeah, trying to make plays here on San Francisco Shock side of things. Try to take up shop on the payload itself, but a good flank, well-timed there from New York Excel. Cracks open the defense, and it's going to be really tough here for San Francisco Shock to contest again. I mean, it is going to take quite a bit of time for the payload to wrap around these bends. That's intentional. So the San Francisco Shock, they could potentially get over here. Depends on where Smurf is in positioning. Oh, man, and SBB has already got the advantage.
Yeah, it's so hard to get back in onto this one. Gonna need plays from your Farah, but...
Oh, wow. Even committing the window pane, despite the positional advantage that SBB has, being set up first as turret means it's going to be so hard for San Francisco Shock to set up shields. But hey, now with the window pane, even worse. Rock to the face. Smurf is just off on the side. And there's the first point picked up here for New York Excel. Nicely done on their side. Just quick with the flank on the first point.
I don't mind the commitment there, actually, of Amplification Matrix, the window pane, as you so eloquently put it, the pane of pain.
The window of pain.
But Jonak's going to be the only one really pumping healing into all the ground line, because it's Fair and Mercy. They're going to be off on their own little adventure, so essentially you're going to get all of the healing. You should be able to charge that ultimate up pretty quickly. And that's the entire composition is designed to keep Bastion alive, heal him, drop Immortality Field and window pane, and let him do insane amounts of damage.
Well, now they're just like, okay, we're gonna just ignore that. We're gonna ignore the Flower situation with Farah, this guy, because now Rascal is elected to change it up. We will have Moth and Violet. Insane amounts of healing can get cranked out, rather, by Ana and Batiste together. And Rascal on the May, you can already see the wall at work. It's gonna make life difficult here for the New York Excel. Eyes on Flower, though. He's got the barrage, and he's only picked up, I mean, he's only got 3 final blows so far this map. So it's time for him to wake up and start having an impact here.
I mean, they res Mono, but they now are unable to res Jonak here. They've got 6 ultimates. Does New York. They're going to pop Valkyrie preemptively.
So, wings are out. Chain healing, chain damage. Let's go. Let's see. Is this enough? There's Flower with the barrage. Picks up the kill on Architect. Slept immediately. Attempted a follow-up there by Choi Oben. And Rascal decides to commit the Blizzard here to try and slow things down, and it might just work. Meko not going to get the support he needs. SBB cut off from the rest of his team. His barrier there just barely keeping him alive. It's tank mode, but that's not the answer. Snarf comes up with 2. And, well, that grab is kind of... just get it done manually.
I wonder if they're going to get these late kills. Trying to get a halt in. It does seem a little bit disjointed right now from the NYXL. They just had 6 ultimates. Now they're in shambles.
They've got the one
San Francisco,
at least, right?
Yeah, San Francisco ended up using a lot.
Yeah, they've got the grab on Meko, so he could be the hero here. Meko has been posting insane stats. Moth getting caught out in the middle of Siberia there. What was he doing? That's rough.
The light was on.
So, do we get a hold though? Because Rez is going to go off from Animo. New York XL still making progress. An attempt at a choke here from San Francisco Shock, but they're giving ground, backing off. And will they be able to contest before the payload makes it? Just barely. Architect getting pummeled right now, though. Getting slapped. Everything getting chucked at Architect. And the man is still here. He's still cranking out damage. Choi finally goes down, but now the tank mode is here for Architect, just lobbing in the damage. Come on, they've got the hold after all of this. This is insane, but the New York XL looking like they finally cracked the defense.
Just stalling right now, and now you're in a non-ideal composition because you've got the Hammond on the card, although Smurf does end up getting a single kill there. Checkpoint picked up, but New York, no matter what, will have a slower time on Rialto because San Francisco has actually fought on the point.
Exceedingly well.
Yeah.
Exceedingly well. 321 in the bank for San Francisco Shock. We've just passed the 3-minute mark for New York XL. So, now in New York, it's got to be perfect, and you have the ults to make it happen as well. Flower's got the barrage, SBB's got tank mode, and we've got the wings ready for Animo. So around the bend, San Francisco not looking to make any mistakes early, but Architect gets the jump on him. Architect gets the setup. That's surely going to be Mono going down here. He gets the barrage there, or rather the lantern to keep him up for a little bit. Mono survives it, but not the same for Flower. He goes down.
Oh, now you've got Blizzard ready to go too. They're going to try to get a little bit of damage going there, but this Maze utility is just so good right now. They're finding these picks.
You get the Sigma, you get the Mei, you get these heroes that seem to have answers for everything. Oh, I need to survive this? Fine, fair enough, I'll do that. I need some crowd control? Got that too. And you got the player of likes of Rascal's caliber, things are going to get crazy. Flower's even gone to the Mei. Now what a fantastic bio-nade. Somebody kill the lantern. You gotta get rid of the lantern. All right, as an afterthought.
New York has to reset up here. Shock looking to redeem themselves. This is the last map they lost, and it was right on this point towards the end.
Big plays. Oh, the body block, though. The wall goes in from Flower, cuts off the Blizzard. Is it enough, though? Dancing on the edge. You've got the barriers getting thrown in, just mitigating all of this damage. And San Francisco Shock now, are they the ones who have overstepped? It looks like it. SBB picks up 2 kills. One fight has got to be here because New York XL, I mean, they've got 6 alive and it's on cleanup. San Francisco Shock doing everything they can to continue to run down the clock. Name of the game for them, die on the payload. We're at 1:10 on the clock now for New York XL.
Yeah, do they have a resurrection available? It does not appear so. So they're without their main damage source in Sabiobi. So much so that he's just going to switch off of the Bastion, which had been working so well for them. Goes to the Reaper instead, just so he can rejoin his team quicker.
Well, this is it. Potentially the last fight. If they hold, San Francisco Shock, they are setting themselves up for a spot in the grand finals. New York XL fighting to stay alive in the tournament. Grav Flux gets thrown in on the side of New York. SBB, the first to go down. Architect pumping bullets into him. Barely surviving so far on the side of New York, but it won't be for long. The pressure's too great, and New York XL sent back to spawn with 30 seconds on the clock, Hex.
You have to go home. You have to go home right now. And now where is the synergy with this Baptiste pick? Who's going to really even shoot through it? Is Flower going to shoot icicles through it? You don't have the Bastion anymore. San Francisco also holding on to double support ultimates. Ominous music incoming. About 15 seconds perhaps left in the NYXL season.
Talk about the pressure situation here. Match point on the line for San Francisco Shock. New York, everything here to stay alive. And Flower, he's got the Blizzard. This could be the game changer if he can get good positioning on it. We'll see if he can pull it off. Right there on the home stretch, 2 seconds and into overtime we go. The wings burning, and this is it, the final fight. Can they do it? Window pings down for Jonak, and the wings are out for Animo as well, trying to keep this team up. Flower with the Blizzard, thrown on the point. So difficult now for San Francisco to survive, but the support is there for San Francisco. Unbelievable! San Francisco, this is huge! They're caking them out, one after another. totally falling apart on the side of New York. It all looks so good for an instant, and San Francisco flip it on its head, and they're going to the grand finals.